We outside, man. We got Wavy Duo with another video. How the fastest footballer in history destroyed his career.
We
Interesting.
got some predictions.
Um, nah, I don't have no predictions. The only thing I can think of is he spent all his bread clubbing, having fun, or
Problems.
or he got caught with some packs or like a gun or something. Yeah, that's the only way. Or like a case, shorties be trying to lie on.
Is a prime Obafemi Martins faster than these players? Thierry Henry,
I'm faster than him.
Kyle Walker,
Way faster than him.
R9,
I'm faster than him. He knows that.
Kylian Mbappe,
Way faster.
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Way faster.
Gareth Bale.
Way faster. You forgot about me? Wow.
If you had no idea who this guy was and you hear him say all that for the first time, you might think he's delusional. But on the other hand, for anyone who even remotely knows the name Obafemi Martins, you know that when it comes to speed, this guy was the real deal. But first, let me tell you a personal story. Back in 2005, as a youngster, I witnessed a prime Adriano on TV. And this was back in the day when many believed he really was the next king of Brazil and the heir to Ronaldo Phenomenal. In Inter Milan, while Adriano was the big man scoring all those insane goals, he was playing right alongside another beast of a striker. A guy who simply no defender could keep up with, Obafemi Martins. At the time, I was actually more impressed with his iconic celebration than with his speed. But it never fully occurred to me just how insanely fast he really was, until I played a little old game on my PlayStation 2 called Pro Evolution Soccer. And as I became more obsessed with football and football games in general, I slowly came to the realization that there was literally no other player in any football game that was more broken than Obafemi Martins. He was consistently the only player with 99 speed and acceleration. Ever since then, for nearly a solid decade up until around FIFA 15, every time I would build a squad, you're damn right that I would buy Obafemi Martins. And honestly, after he left the Premier League, I only really kept up with him and his career, like what team he was or what league he was playing in, because of those different FIFA cards over the years. It never ceased to amaze me how, despite in his mid-30s playing in the MLS, Martins could still outrun everyone on the pitch. And it wasn't until I came across a recent interview he did with ESPN that I really started to wonder, whatever happened to Obafemi Martins? He always had that insane speed and was a truly class player in Serie A and the Premier League. So why exactly did the fastest footballer of his generation, and possibly even the fastest footballer of all time, because I'm not counting Usain Bolt, never quite become a superstar?
He was really that fast?
Well, to answer this question, we're going to have to look at a quite controversial and potentially sensitive topic. Because despite being scouted for his local Nigerian club, FC Ebda, it would only be a single year until he was discovered and signed for Italian side Reggiana at the age of 16.
Damn.
The very following year, Reggiana would offer the teenager to Inter Milan. So basically,
niggas really be getting drafted at young ages. Like, niggas really be like scouting. Like, yo, you're 14. Yeah. You gonna go to your games. This nigga's the next man.
Like filming?
Like, that shit probably happens in basketball too, but it's like, niggas will probably real life start going to your shit. If it, like, nigga, you gotta be LeBron for niggas to come scout you at, like, come on now.
Yeah.
15.
Because even still at 15, you cooking high schoolers.
Yeah,
Like, we can't just come get you for the A. Like, yo, you froze. I ain't gonna lie. But we can't.
Froze?
Yeah. We can't just come get you for the A. Like, you still playing a young man's game. You feel me?
Once you get to college, we gotta see how you do, my boy.
I mean, college is when you start playing grown men.
Like, once you put belt ass there, I ain't know, it's over. It's over. There are some draft busts.
Facts. Big facts. 100%.
Nothing in the A.
100%. Nah, always first 5 picks is always shooting for the high. Except for Ben Simmons.
See, I was about to say his name. Besides that nigga.
Yeah, except for Ben Simmons.
No, that nigga allergic to putting the ball above his head and flicking his wrist. That nigga is allergic. There's no way.
You said he's allergic to putting the ball up. No, that's dope funny.
We want to see my family.
In a span of less than 2 years, Obafemi
Nigerian
Martins
club.
as a teenager would go from Nigeria to Serie C all the way to a big Italian club like Inter Milan. And he hadn't even scored a single goal so far in his time in Italy. At the time, not many people really thought much of it. He was an insanely athletic forward who had a lot of potential and seemed worth a try. It was looking like his skills were certainly more developed than the others in the youth academy. But it wouldn't be until several years later, Obafemi Martins' age was publicly in question. Various online forums would begin raising their suspicions, which led to media outlets and football officials casting doubt on his actual birthday, as even local Nigerians were suggesting the inconsistencies in the documentation of his age. And the suspicions were further fueled by his physique and maturity levels during his youth career. There was a theory that his early success might have been a result of physical advantage, regardless of his insane natural physical ability. In African football, age discrepancies have been a common problem for years, with players in the past trying to appear younger than they truly are in professional settings. But whether if it was true or not, the truth is the age scandal would later affect him in his career, as doubts about his age might have affected his opportunities for big clubs in Europe. But we'll talk more about that later when we eventually get there. In his first season for Inter, Martins was definitely beginning to impress. He would start off in their youth team, going on to score 23 goals, which would earn him a spot in the first team at the age of 18. And when he would finally make his official debut in the 2002-2003 season, he would do it in spectacular fashion, scoring a goal against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League of all places, then going on to do his iconic somersault celebration. And UEFA would even feature his celebration in commercials and advertising for the Champions League next season. Later that season, the teenage Obafemi Martins would even play in the Champions League semi-final against their rivals AC Milan, where Martins himself would score Inter's only goal. Despite the loss, it looked like Martins had an incredibly bright future ahead of him, and he would only continue to improve and show his ability in Serie A. He'd go from 5 goal contributions in 10 matches during his first season to 15 goal contributions in 37 matches at just 19 years old. Aside from the exceptional speed, agility, and athleticism, Martins was actually quite small for a striker, standing at 170 centimeters or around 5'6", which for his position is quite undersized, but his overwhelming physicality more than made up for it. Martins wasn't just a quote-unquote speed merchant, as the kids say these days.
Yeah.
He genuinely had great striking, especially from distance. When it came to one-on-ones, he knew how to finish calmly, but his speed was just so amazing that it basically overshadowed every other attribute he had as a striker. Plus, despite the smaller stature, the man knew how to leap and had some of the most acrobatic
But he
athleticism
little,
of any
like
footballer
that's
in the
low
world.
nigga shit.
As far as speed goes,
Low.
he wasn't just fast,
Like not even little,
the
like
guy was
that's
incredibly quick
low,
while dribbling
like
as well.
LUL.
Easily his most phenomenal was the 2004-5 season,
My son,
where
they say
Martins would
5'7".
have an incredible 28
That's not
goal
low.
contributions
That's
in
not low.
46 matches, being
that's like
absolutely crucial in helping
Yeah, yeah.
Inter win the
That's-
Coppa
that's-
Italia with 6
Niggas
goals in the
still gonna call
tournament
you short
and a
for 5'7".
hat-trick. to
Yeah,
secure
yeah.
his
If
first
you're
piece
not-
of major
If
If
silver.
you're not 5'10", that's
That
when you
moment
start
clearly
getting
would offer
tall.
Martins
Like
a
if you under
long-term
5'10", niggas
contract
gonna call you
until
short.
2010. But despite how electrifying and entertaining he was, Martins didn't exactly fit with Italian football. His game was built on rapid counterattacks, but Serie A was a league known for its slow and tactical nature. But still, seeing the number of goals he was able to score shows you that his speed was just too much to handle, no matter how deep the defenses sat. But the bigger problem was that in Inter, the main striker would slowly start to become Adriano, and Martins would more and more come off the bench or play as a second striker. For a guy as flashy as him with his skill sets, he wanted to be the sole man up top. Perhaps he was okay taking a step back and playing a slightly smaller role. However, everything changed when Inter would sign Zlatan Ibrahimovic, bringing even more doubt in Martins' role for the club. And thus, after 1 Serie A title, 2 Coppa Italias, and 1 Italian Super Cup, Obafemi Martins would request a move from the Italian side, hoping to find a club where he could be the main
Damn,
option.
and it was over
some
after
might
that.
say that this was one of the biggest blunders of his career,
Damn.
and it would be Newcastle that came calling, hoping that Martins could fill the immense void left by the retiring Alan Shearer, as they would entrust him with the club's cherished number 9. However, on his Premier League debut against Aston Villa, he would suffer a severe knee injury. Newcastle fans
Oh,
had
he
suddenly
baited.
given up all hope.
He's Ben
January 14th,
Simmons.
he would make a return, and he would do it in spectacular fashion. Martins would strike
Oh,
a
so he came
stunning
back.
20-yard
Let's see.
rocket in a 3-2 victory against Tottenham. His shot was clocked by Sky Sports at a speed of 135 kilometers an hour, making it unofficially one of the top 10 hardest shots ever recorded in football. But although his speed would
That shit
recover
from
after the
84
knee
miles an
injury,
hour.
he would lose a bit of that dribbling and
never
ball
understood
control
that.
at those top
Like, when,
speeds.
niggas
In
in baseball, like,
Newcastle,
don't
well,
run
they
miles an hour,
were an
like,
average club at
fastballs,
best.
how the
Obafemi
fuck?
Martins would end the season with a decent
Niggas get hit
17
with
goal
that shit.
contributions in 43 matches,
Yo.
being part of the squad
That
that
shit
won
hurt.
Newcastle
You
its
said that
last
shit
piece
hurt.
of silverware, the Intertoto Cup, all the way back in 2006. Leading Newcastle in goals scored for all competitions. Chelsea would eventually try and make a move for him, but Newcastle didn't want to let him go. And unfortunately, a storm of managerial issues which had very questionable formations, like pushing Martins to the bench to play an older Michael Owen, would eventually lead to the club getting relegated. His time at Newcastle was also the most injury-riddled of his career, and Martins, seemingly still being at his prime
Damn,
around
he
the
just
age
snapped
of
him.
26, decided that he didn't want to play in the championship and tried to make a move to another top European club. But it was during his last few seasons at Newcastle where doubts about his age would really start to surface. In fact, Newcastle fans who very much loved him would even make a joking chant saying, 21 or 28, Obafemi Martins. And other big clubs and management were definitely aware
Damn,
of the
nigga, that's a
allegations.
big
Martins
gap.
would score a decent
Yeah,
35
that's
goals and 104 appearances.
Whole
for
7-year
Newcastle.
gap.
But instead of another top European club, Martins would find
Chill, brother,
himself in
man. What was he
Bundesliga,
telling people on
playing
the
for
streets?
VfL Wolfsburg, and he would have a decent 13
That's
goal
wicked
contributions in
work.
37 matches. But because of all the age allegations, other clubs started to see him as a liability. He should have been
That nigga's
around 27 at this time, and his
440 in the
physicality
league.
and speed
They
definitely
thought
seemed
you
like
would-
it. But the damage to his reputation meant that no other big club was willing to give him another chance. And for me personally, it was around this time that I really stopped paying attention to Martins, not hearing his
Damn.
name again for quite some time. He would head to the Russian Premier League, have a brief loan in Birmingham City, and even had a short stint in La Liga playing for Levante, where he had a very respectable 10 goal contributions in 21 matches. But it wasn't until he went to the MLS, playing for Seattle Sounders, that I was hearing of Obafemi Martins' name once more. And in the MLS, he became an
Seattle
absolute
Sounders.
legend. In the
Yeah, bro, but this is
2013-2014
unfair
season,
though, cause what he did was, bro, I'm out here cooking in La Liga. I'm out here cooking in you feel me, overseas. Now let me go to America and bake these young boys. Let me go to the bot lobby. That's what he did. He went to the bot lobby, bro.
Niggas just said that he was the fastest player. Niggas compared him to mad.
So if we're saying fastest, right? So then we could just say, imagine D Rose. Boom, injury. Get better, come back, I'm going to the G League. Bro, he's scoring 40 every night. Fresh off the injury, bro, in the G League.
But it's like, oh, he's 40.
Who, son right here?
Nah, I don't know how old he is.
Oh, well, the world may never know. Who knows? He might be 40. Who
All I know
knows?
is that that nigga in the MLS word through everything. That nigga ain't get past Messi.
Yeah. Nah. But yo, though, come
Nigga
on,
thought
like,
it was sweet.
nah, come on now. You wildin'. That's like top, top dog right there.
Yeah, niggas already knew that method, buddy. You
Yeah.
already.
He's out here.
he would have 19 goals and 15 assists in 37 matches, still being as fast as ever and leaving everyone in the dust.
So he
And
good
even
then.
the next season, he would have 21 goal contributions in 25
I doubt
matches.
people here is
Though
gonna
only a
question
brief
his
time in the
age.
MLS, Obafemi Martins became one of the most popular players and one of the biggest legends in the league, as MLS fans absolutely loved him. And as he got older, he would move to the Chinese Super League, spending the last
What?
5 years of his career trying to collect as big of a bag as possible. He would eventually retire at 2020, nearly at the age of 37. But even through all the injuries he suffered, his speed was still insane. Though he never became a superstar, and although his age was in question, Martin scored goals wherever he went, becoming a fan favorite and always entertaining the crowd. Maybe his career might have been a little different if he decided to stay at Inter Milan or decided to play a single year of championship football. But really, that's all in the past. Because if one thing's for sure, Martins will always be remembered as potentially the fastest footballer of all time.
Well,
You telling me, like, the real reason why, or he destroyed his career, quote unquote, because he decided to leave Inter Milan, and he ain't wanna play 1 year, the championship shit, like.
he wanted to be the main man. He was on his Kyrie shit.
That nigga left, got injured, and then it was just like, damn.
You feel me?
It's not like,
Baited.
I mean, I get he was still doing his thing, but you know, I'm still trying to figure out like terms of fastest. Like, are we talking about like with the ball or without the ball?
I think they just talking about with the ball.
You know, NFL niggas got like the fastest, but like they be doing the actual like running shit.
Yeah.
Like, the niggas like
Like the
timeless
combine
man,
is
like,
all like niggas practicing time and shit and vert and all
I'm
that.
saying, like, I'm trying to see this nigga. Okay, so speed isn't with the ball. Okay, that makes sense. But I doubt it. You know?
Do they got
Ain't no fucking
FIBA combine?
right. Ain't no way. That shit. FIBA?
Yeah, FIBA. Ain't that what it is? FIBA? Or is that only the World Cup?
I think that bro, that is. Isn't FIBA basketball shit?
Oh wait, yeah, you right. I think ain't FIBA basketball shit. I think that is basketball.
FIBA is the basketball.
Yeah. You're right. FIBA is the basketball shit. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
FIBA is definitely the basketball shit.